Hey guys, and welcome to Tnashi's Movie Corner. Today we will be discussing Jurassic Park 3, which came out in 2001 and was directed by Joe Johnston instead of Steven Spielberg this time, and has stars such as Sam Neill and William H. Macy, as well as Taya Leone. So, this movie being the third one, coming off the second one, again, you can check out my review of the first two. I've already put videos up for them. But coming off of the second one, it had something to kind of to build up, hopefully, and do better, in my opinion. But the thing is, the story takes place 8 years after the incident at Jurassic Park. You have Alan Grant, who still works as a paleontologist on dinosaur dig sites in Montana with his assistant Billy. And he's offered money by the Kirbys, played by William H. Macy and Taya Leone, who want him to be their kind of guide, because they're going to fly. They say they're going to fly over the island, and they want him to kind of point out what the dinosaurs are and everything. And being that he kind of needs money again, he decides to go on this, but finds out later on that they have actually been lying to him the whole time, and they're actually going to the island in search of their son, who went missing. So, first, I am surprised that he actually fell for. I'm going to say right now, I'm surprised Alan fell for this right off the bat, because he fell for a similar thing in the first movie. So, you would have thought he would have learned something. Thing is, Jurassic Park 3, very much a shorter film than the other two. I have quite a few problems with it. I'm going to say that right off the bat. Aside from the dream sequence with you have the Velociraptor talking or or whatever, which was just odd, you have some CG moments that are a little subpar, in my opinion, from the first one. I think the first one did a better job. The characters are very straight and by the book, and it's not really very likable to them. William H. Macy does a decent job, and Sam Neill as Alan does a good job. I enjoyed seeing Alan. But aside from that, that's about the best that you get from this movie. This movie also has a short change of characters, kind of like the first one did. But because it's short changed, when a series of deaths happen near the very beginning, it's kind of like it doesn't leave much, because you expect certain people to live, and then when they do live, it's like, well, I just watched a movie, but there's nothing to really keep me invested, because the first one, I didn't know who would live or who would die, because you were invested in all the characters, and I really just wasn't invested in these characters like I should have been. Also, with the Spinosaurus showing up, I get that they wanted to go a new direction and go away from the T-Rex, which worked for the first two. The thing about the Spinosaurus, though, is it was kind of like Jason Statham was in the last Fast and Furious movie, where it would just readily just show up at various points, like it was after them the entire time. Again, comparing to a slasher film, like I said, a horror film, slasher film, it really was like there was a few break points, and then it would show up and go right back at them. So it really was just one of those things where it was just gunning for him the entire time. And it surprises me, because that's one of the things they talked about. Dinosaurs aren't like that in the first movie. So it surprised me to see that. The fight with the Spinosaurus and the T-Rex was pretty cool. Didn't last very long, though. And you don't find out, I think you find out in the commentary, that the T-Rex was actually a young T-Rex, so it wasn't an adult. All the same, the fight was very short, and it's one of the highlights of the movie. I think some of the interactions with the raptors, and then with the pterodactyls in the birdcage, specifically where the pterodactyl first shows up landing on the bridge and is kind of hidden and then walks into view. I thought that was really well done. But aside from that, there are a few moments, and they're so few and far in between, that the whole movie kind of lags. And it's a short movie, so when it's spaced out like that, and that means that you have so many moments where it just doesn't work for me. it really kind of brings the movie down. Also, they used animatronics in this one, which you can compliment on. But again, if you use animatronics, you got to use them right. I didn't feel like this movie used them very well. I don't know if the quality was down because Steven Spielberg wasn't involved with this movie as much, but you could tell when it was being used, particularly in with the plane, with the Spinosaurus killing one of the people in the plane, his jaw coming down on the person's leg. It looked very much like plastic. Like it didn't look very realistic for me. So you have all that going. The kid actor that plays the Kirby's son, he did okay. He did better than the girl from The Lost World, but he didn't. He just didn't have the same feel to him that the kids from the first one did. So, I mean, overall, I don't think the actors did a standout of a job. I think the movie was a little too rushed. They didn't have the build up that I really feel like you need with movies, and even decidedly sequels like, again, going back to Aliens. I mentioned it in the other movie. Aliens, coming off of Alien, you still have that build up, and there wasn't really much build up. They land, they encounter a dinosaur, stuff happens. There's nothing to build up that tension at all. And I was really surprised that they even went with the Spinosaurus, given that the T-Rex was the one that kind of helped launch this franchise and continued. So they looked like they were trying to go in a new direction, and it just didn't work. I do like some of the foreshadowing that happened in the beginning, though, with Alan talking to the child of Ellie, Ellie's kid, and having about what actually fights. The herbivores don't fight; it's these predators, and he has a Spinosaurus and the T-Rex. So I like that little foreshadowing. I wish Billy had. I was okay with Billy, but I wish that he had actually, when they they had this whole thing where he's sacrificing himself, trying to redeem himself for a mistake he made, and I wish they had gone through with that. And I heard somewhere that it was actually that actor who refused to actually have that go through, so they changed it. And you shouldn't do that for a movie, for any movie. I don't think you should ever have that. You should always just go with what would make a better story. But anyway, again, putting this 1 through 10, 1 being the worst, 10 being the best, I would also give this one a 5.2 out of 10, because I think it's slightly above average for just a movie, but it's nowhere near the original. And I have a lot of problems with it, like I had with the second one. Some different problems, some the same, but in the end, it gets about an equal rating in my mind. So anyway, what do you guys think? Do you guys agree with my opinion, or what would you rate the movie, and what do you think of the franchise thus far? I will try to have my review up for Jurassic World on Sunday, so hopefully you look forward to that. And if you like the vid, please click the like button, subscribe to my channel, and put down a topic that you wish for me to discuss, or let's discuss this topic and get the ball rolling. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching, and peace.